Hey, it's Carrie Roldan, the Business BFF, and I want to give you a quick training today on how to use the yes-no technique to trust your gut when making business decisions. So, as you guys know, right, just about every successful entrepreneur will tell you, like, sometimes you just got to go with your gut. The thing is, so many of us can get stuck in a place where we're like, am I listening to my gut? Is this my gut? Is that like a bad burrito that I ate? Do I listen to my gut? Is it my gut? Is it my heart? Is it my head? What the hell? So I'm going to help you with that. So before I tell you the yes no technique, I just want to tell you that the best decisions in your business, in your life, in general, happen when your head, your heart, and your gut are aligned. Now, if you know about this, it doesn't really matter, except for that you actually have a brain, right? The same neural pathways or neurotransmitters. I'm totally not a scientist, but just bear with me here. The same stuff, like the electromagnetics that happen in your brain, are also happening in your heart and in your gut. And I believe that we actually have way more of those receptors in our gut than we have in our brain, which is why it makes sense to trust your gut. Your gut knows, your heart knows, your brain tries to make sense of it, right? So the best decisions come when your gut, your heart, and your head are aligned. But what we're going to do right now is learn how to access our heart and our gut, right? Learn how to access those places because the head can get in the way, right? So once we know what our head, what our gut and our heart have got going on, we can get our head on board. So I want to teach you the yes-no technique. I learned this from my friend Rachel Archelaus. I've also done variations of it with my friend Cynthia Carrere, and you've probably heard it on some level before in your life. But this is going to give you a really tangible way to access when you are a yes and when you are a no. So here's how it works. It's really simple. We're going to learn how to access the wisdom in our bodies. So I want you to just take a breath. Take another one. You can let it out with a sigh if you need, right? I want you to let go of stress or tension. So whatever you have to do, I'm going to be a little bit silly here because this helps me so much when I make this sound. All right, whatever tension you've got going on in your jaw, in your shoulders, in your neck, just notice how by tuning into your body and breathing, you can let go of a lot of that. Now, the trick with the yes-no technique is to recognize that your body has an internal yes and your body has an internal no. And your brain will then get going, right, based on what your body gives it, on the story that it's telling itself, right? So what we want to do is bypass your brain and access the wisdom that exists in your body, right? Because God, the universe, higher self, whoever it is, whatever it is that you believe in, it is talking to you all the time, and it is using your body as a communication device. Your soul, your higher self, whatever you call that, it is using your body as a communication device. Your body's amazing that way. So we are tuning into our bodies. Just get yourself nice and centered. Notice the chair that you're sitting on. You can notice the edges of your body. Notice how as you pay attention to those edges, they either become sharper, like more clear, or they actually dissolve. You notice that your edges are going away. As you pay attention to your edges, you notice that your edges are leaving. All right. All we're going to do from this place of feeling grounded, connected, just really in your body. Let's take another deep breath. Feel the breath go all the way to the base of your belly. And exhale. Notice your feet on the floor. Notice your butt in the chair. Notice where you're holding tension. And notice as you send your breath to those places, you can relieve that tension. You can relax your shoulders. You can relax your jaw. You can relax the muscles around your eyes. You can relax your hands, your arms. Notice how your whole body can get heavy while it relaxes. Relax your ankles. From this place of being in your body, we're going to pay attention to sensation. So the first sensation that you feel is the truth. So I'm asking the question, body, what does a yes feel like? Notice that first sensation. Is it a smile? Is it a lifting in your heart? Is it a buzzing sensation in your fingers? Is it a ringing in your ears? Trust that whatever that first sensation that you felt, that is your yes. That is your body resonating with truth. That is your body saying yes. Now we're going to do the same thing. So if you've opened your eyes, go ahead and close them. Drop right back into your body and ask yourself, body, what does a no feel like? Notice that first sensation. How is it different than your yes? For me, a yes feels open. It feels like a lifting, and a no feels like a dropping. Whatever it is for you, those are your yes no's. So here's how you can use those sensations when dealing with any decision that you have to make in your business. Okay. Now, if it's a small decision, right? Like, should I, do this first or that first? And you're going to do them both in the day. You can probably trust yourself to make a decision based on just asking yourself the question, is it in my highest and best interest to do this first? And you get a yes or a no. You don't have to know why you're getting the yes or the no. Just trust it. Because your higher self knows why, right? That bigger, broader, the God part of you knows why. But if you're getting a no, same thing. All right, so then the next thing that you need to do, though, is if you've got a decision that I guess here's the thing. Sometimes you'll get a yes. Like, for instance, if it's something you're afraid about. So is it in my highest and best interest to invest in this thing in my business right now, right? Maybe I want it to be a yes, but I'm terrified of the cost. What I'll notice is I'll get the yes, but it's immediately followed by a no. And that's why it's so important to trust that first sensation, because the answer is yes. The no is that my brain registered the yes and freaked out, right? And went, oh my God, how are you going to pay for this, right? You don't have to know that part, because if it's in your highest and best interest, the details are going to work itself out. So that's a really powerful thing to recognize. And that's why sometimes I'll do the yes, no test blind. So I'll maybe write, I guess it's more of an either or, but is it this or is it that? Or maybe I'll put yes or no on a piece of paper, and then I'll mix them up and I don't know which one is which. And then I'll just put my hand on it and I'll, is this answer in my highest and best interest? And then I'll get a body response. And then I'll look at what's written on the paper and know, okay, that is my truth, right? I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to register the answer and then be afraid, because honestly, your higher self, it knows the yes or the no before you've finished asking the question. And so sometimes you're asking the question and you're getting a yes, and by the time you finish articulating it in your brain, you get a no. Or vice versa. It's a no, it's already a no, but then you want it to be a yes. So by the time you finish articulating in your brain, you've turned it into a yes. That's why sometimes doing it blind, writing it on a piece of paper, writing several options on a piece of paper is a good idea, right? Not knowing what it is that you have your hand on and trusting that you're getting the right response is a really great way to do the yes-no test. But the most important thing is to recognize those sensations in your body when you're a yes and when you're a no, because that is your gut and your heart coming online, right? They're making, and honestly, Usually you'll feel them in one of those two places, right? I tend to feel my yes up here in my heart. It's a rising up from my gut. It's coming out through my heart. And my no feels the opposite. It feels like my heart is sinking into my gut. And so that's how I know. That's how it's so easy. Once I understand what my heart and my gut are telling me, my head can get on board one way or another, because my head knows it's got all sorts of stories that it's telling itself, but it believes that my higher self knows better than it does, right? Like in my brain, I know that to be true. Now, my brain will tell me all sorts of other stories, right? But I have a belief that my body knows best. And so when I can get my brain on board with what my heart and my gut are saying, when I can consciously surrender to the not knowing, but trusting, then head, heart, and gut are aligned. So I hope you find that helpful. And yeah, let me know how it's working out for you.